Hey folks, it's time for the Mike North 5-minute half-hour news brought to you by the fine village of Rosemont. Well, our lights, our power, everything was off for 2 days. We had to go get generators. We had to get things running here in Park Ridge, Illinois. Mount Prospect, as you know, got hit with a couple tornadoes. Niles, Illinois, Riverwoods, Glenview. They were saying 100,000 people. Are you kidding me? We're talking 450, 500,000. On Prospect Avenue in Park Ridge, where you have all the prominent homes, the biggest tax base, and you have the country club, they have no power still. Somebody's going to pay the price for that one. People are not happy, but let me tell you something. We were this close to being a big major tornado type of situation. We suffered what I call mini Joplin. We had a 1 compared to Joplin's 10. I can't imagine coming up from the basement like I did the other night, coming up the basement, going up to see my kitchen, and it's gone. And it's gone. Those poor people in Joplin, those poor people in Tuscaloosa, and you can go all the way to Haiti if you want. That's misery that won't end. This was misery for 2 days, and we were getting impatient. Can you imagine having no light at the end of the tunnel? I can't. That would be an issue. And still, after 3 days, people are aggravated. How about 3 months in certain areas? How about Joplin? Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't be aggravated, shouldn't be mad. But once again, I'm going to tell you, they'll get their power back on. People are looking for their keepsakes in other areas. So you got to put yourself not only in your shoes, but somebody else's. It could have been worse. But it's still bad, and hopefully everybody's power will be on by the end of today, because it's not a pretty situation. Glenn Campbell, one of my favorite entertainers of all time, and boy, has time flown. I remember when he was a youthful kid back in the 70s and 80s. 75 years old, has been told he's got Alzheimer's now, and that's not a pretty thing to know. I don't know if I want to be surprised by that. When I don't know if I'm going to get it down the line. Anybody's going to get it. Hopefully they'll have a cure by then. But Glenn Campbell says, today, we're going to have one more concert tour. If I'm going to get Alzheimer's, I'm going out the way I came in, singing, strumming the guitar. And remember this, Glenn Campbell was a former Beach Boy. This guy's been around the block. He's had 3-4 marriages. He got on the cocaine. Once he got on the cocaine, his career started going down. Then he found the alcohol going down. What was weird about Glenn Campbell is he was clean cut going into his 30s, mid-30s. And then he got involved with people, the wrong crowd, and everything else. And now, you know, he got his career back. He's still one of the most famous and one of the biggest crossover country western artists who ever lived. I mean, this guy had hits like Wichita Lineman, Galveston, Rhinestone Cowboy in the top 40. So not only was he a country western star, he was a rock and roller too. I mean, this guy, Rhinestone Cowboy, was huge. But now the end seems near, and it can't be any fun if you're Glenn Campbell, knowing that soon you won't even know what your own name is. It's a very, very sad situation, and you can't be happy about that. President Obama says that we're going to be pulling out 30,000 people from Afghanistan next year. If I'm an Afghan, if I'm a guy Al-Qaeda fighting, I go, well, let's just wait a year. They'll be gone. Since when do we announce we're leaving? I mean, if you want to leave, you leave, you say a week before, we're leaving. If it's next year, you say a week before, we're leaving. You don't tell the enemy, this time next year, we're leaving. If I'm the enemy, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. The day they leave, I'm blowing up 4 or 5 buildings. Then what happens? Then what happens? But you know what? Don't go there if you're not going to finish the job, Mr. President, and the job is not finished. It's a very sad situation. I loved it when Obama went there. He stepped up. And now if you're one of his constituents, we didn't want you to go in the beginning. Now you're pulling people out next year? What the hell's going on? Did we go there for nothing? Did we lose these soldiers for nothing? Are we going to have that? I mean, Iraq, thank God, we got that straightened out, and we stayed in there to get a democracy. Afghanistan's been a pain in the ass. I think people are tired of it. And here's what I don't like about Obama. He looks at the polls. 56% said they want out, so he's made the decision. If it was 56% saying we don't want to go out, he'd stay. He goes by the polls. That's a dangerous president to have, especially during wartime. Clinton did the same thing. Anyway, that being said, we got other things here. That's the bad news. Here's some good news. The Crosstown Classic, okay, the White Sox won 2 out of 3. Alfonso Soriano saying it's tough to be booed. Chicago people are tough. on their superstars when they strike. He goes, I didn't go through this at Washington, and I didn't go through this in New York. You were great over there. Washington, you had 46 home runs. Who would boo you? Hit 171. You'll get your brains beat in like Adam Dunn. He didn't even pick a bat up during the offseason. Said he's been doing that his whole life. If you're going to a new team, making $55 million, don't you pick a bat up one time, take 3 swings, and then put it back down? To say you ignored it all year long, I'm not a fan. I didn't like it when they got him, and now he's hitting 171. In the meantime, Gordon Beckham's still trying to get some hits too, hitting 230. That being said, the Sox are only 4 back. 4 back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, today, the weather, it can't be any frightful than it was for the last couple days. Going to be a little partly cloudy, some drizzle, stuff like that. But you know what? A lot better than it was, like I said. Hope everybody gets their power on. I'm Mike North with the five. I'm Mike North for the Village of Rosemont. From the 9th largest convention center to restaurants to theaters, sports venues, and hotels. 5 minutes from O'Hare. You got it all here. Rosemont. You can't miss it.